Hey, welcome back. I'm Nate Moore. This is Excel video 199 in MooreSolutionsInc.com series on how to use Excel in medical practice. Remember this spreadsheet from 7 or 8 Excel videos ago where we were converting minutes to hours, and we had a couple of easy formulas up here and then the big long nasty formula down here that we were working through. I want to show you some ways to make some of these complicated formulas easier to understand, especially if you inherit a spreadsheet and you're trying to figure out what's going on. There are two areas in this formula auditing section that we're going to talk about today. The first is simply this button that will do show formulas. And when you click it, what it'll do is it will show you every formula on the page. So I've got a formula there and a formula there. Here's a big long formula there. And so it's easy to go back and figure out how we're calculating what we're calculating. You can toggle it on and off. And then I've got a note here that if you don't want to do this and you need to do it in a hurry, or you do this a lot, you can always do Control and little tilde guy. Top left hand corner of my keyboard next to the 1 is where mine is, but that will turn your show formulas on and off. That one's easy. The other one isn't bad either. Let's come down to this. Remember this complicated formula we had A16, we had 901, and we were trying to convert that to hours and minutes. There is a function down here called evaluate formula, and what evaluate formula will do, let's just click on, I'm on the formula I want to evaluate, and you click on evaluate formula, and what it does is it brings up this evaluate window, and what it does is it starts inside the parentheses and kind of calculates as it goes and works its way out. And so it'll show you this underlined expression right here. It'll tell you what A16 is when you click evaluate, and then evaluate will say, okay, A16 is 901, and then the next thing it's going to figure out is 901 divided by 60, and that's 15.01 and all of these sixes. And then it's going to evaluate that with the int function that we talked about to make that a 15. And then the next thing it's going to evaluate is take 15 and add the colon. And see how each time I click evaluate, it goes a step at a time through the formula. Now we're going to figure out what the mod of A16 is. First we've got to figure out what A16 is. It's 901, so the mod of 901 and 60 is 1. The length of 1 is 1, and 1 equals 1, so we're going to do what's true there and put a 0 in front and figure out you see how we're just stepping through each calculation. Every time it's got to go look up a cell, every time Excel's got to make any kind of calculation, it's going to evaluate one at a time and show you as you go. And we've got to do, I think, 2 or 3 more. Yeah, 15 and 1. There it is. The one thing it won't do is there's not a back. There's not a forward and back thing. You can restart and work your way through, but once you're in, then you've got to go all the way through before you can start over again. What this little step in button does, see how we've got mod A16, comma 60. What that's going to do is show you a step at a time inside a function what's going on, so we can step out of that and evaluate. Here's one more step in where we can figure out what A16 is, and it will show you if you want to. And then we can evaluate our way back out. Let me show you one more if we go a little bit longer one. That. When we get to that, it looks big, long, and nasty, but all you've got is just an if statement that if true, then this, and it just goes all the way and figures it out to 01, and you're done. You can evaluate all the way through and restart and step in. That's what I wanted to show you today. Is first one, this control and tilde will give you all of the formulas that are in there, and just makes your life easy to see what's going on. If you're new to a spreadsheet, you can't remember how you did a formula. Now I've got that, and it makes it easy to access and work with those formulas. Once you're done with that and you've got a complicated formula like this, just use evaluate formula, and you can evaluate and figure out exactly how the formula is getting to where you need to go. If there's an error in there, evaluate will also show you, hey, the next step is going to result in an error, and it will help you with the error tracking we talked about last time. Those are the 2 things I wanted to show you today. Neither one of those are too bad. Stay tuned next time. We'll do the watch window for Excel Video 200. Look forward to seeing you then.